Okay, so I kind of bought five perfumes, five Middle Eastern perfumes, worth around 12,000 rupees. And the reason for buying them was somewhere kind of very hyped by influencers, Instagram, YouTube, and then there are a few which were kind of hidden gem. Not everybody talked about it, but those who did, specifically in Fragrantica or say Reddit, it was kind of always said in a very positive tone. But I saw very few people talking about it. But those who did spoke very highly. So I just bought those five perfumes to test them out and share my honest opinion regarding them. Which one you should buy, which one you should skip. So this is my take on five perfumes that I bought, Middle Eastern perfumes that I bought to figure out and let you know which one works and which one does not, at least in my opinion. So if in case you like these kind of videos, I think this is going to be super helpful for you. Before I go ahead and talk about the five perfumes which I actually bought, I want to give a huge shout out to Elixbloom for helping me source this perfume at a much cheaper rate and a discounted rate. And Elixbloom has been one of those websites who supported this channel through and through. And thank you so much for giving me this sort of discounts. However, there's a good news for all of you. To extend the services, I would say, or the offers, Elixbloom is offering a 10% discount on the first order from a new account on Elixbloom, which is running till 19th of October as a Diwali discount or a Diwali gift for all the viewers of Scent Saga, and the coupon code is Scent Saga 10. So if in case you are thinking about purchasing perfume for this Diwali, check out Elixbloom, but subjected, always compare the price across all the different websites to see which one is offering you the less. But Scent Saga 10 is the coupon that will provide you 10% off but for this particular occasion, Diwali 2025. And if in case you want to grab the deal, go ahead and check that out. Now let's come to the perfumes and discuss them one by one. Before I talk about each of them, let me introduce them to you. I have got 9 PM Elixir with me. I have got a Khamrah Dukhan with me. I have got a Rich Santal with me from Emir. I have got Rare Reef, and I have got Sceptre Bronzite coming from Maison Alhambra. Okay, so these are the five perfumes that we're going to talk about, but let's get started one by one. And what did I find about them? Okay, so first things first, let's talk about Rare Reef. Okay, I love it. But internet is kind of saying like this is a clone to Pacific Chill, and that got me kind of a bit, away from this DNA, because I tried a few perfumes in this particular DNA. I don't own a Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill. It's super expensive and I don't own it as of now. However, I did smell it in Sephora. I did try it from one of my friend who owns it. I didn't like the DNA. Let me clarify. I was not hating the DNA, but the note of apricot, dates, figs that it has in the dry down, I don't like that part. Okay, I don't like the DNA in the dry down, and that is the reason when I received the clones like West Coast from Ababel, Atlantic Chill from Menworks, I was somebody who was like, this could be a good perfume, but honestly, I don't like it. And when I came to know that a Rare Reef is a perfume that is trying to clone Pacific Chill, I never got it. But what really happened is, this was a decant that I got from Zed Aromas to try out, because I was doing the videos of the Havas Flankers very recently. I mean, the videos uploaded very recently, but I tested the perfumes and recorded it a few weeks or months back, I would say. So at that particular time, I came to know about Rare Reef and I was, blown away. So while making my next purchase for the Middle Eastern perfumes, I ordered a full bottle. This perfume goes into the direction of Pacific Chill, but it's not Pacific Chill. It's a twist on the DNA of Pacific Chill, which I personally love. This is more citruses. And if you have ever squeezed a fresh orange, or say a Minute Maid pulpy orange or something like that, the juice, you're kind of going to get that same feeling, but a bit more richer in quality, and there is some other nuanced citruses out there in the opening, which makes it super refreshing. There is a sweetness, but not to a very high extent. It's very well balanced and feels fresh. The dry down is the part which I actually loved, because there is no dates, apricot, fig mixture or the dry fruit like DNA that Pacific Chill has. This is more sober, this is more musky, this has got a salty sea note kind of a thing, and this is where it's interesting. Usually what happens, this kind of fresh perfumes don't really last long. 6 hours max they are supposed to last, but this one, my friend, will last project both at the same time. Around 1 to 1.5 hours of projection when applied on the clothes, and around 6 to 8 hours of longevity depending on the weather and situation. But since I work in an office environment, this comes very handy and lasts on my clothes for around 7 to 8 hours easily. On my clothes, by the way. The blend quality is really good. Coming from the house of Afnan, you shouldn't be even complaining about the blend quality. The pricing could seem a bit expensive, around 3,000 for 100 ml, but it's actually worth every penny that you pay. So Rare Reef, if you have been hellbent on buying it just because you didn't like the DNA of Pacific Chill, you can really go for it. And over here, there's one more thing that is a bit different. The minty note is there in Pacific Chill in the opening. Over here, the minty note seems a bit mellowed, and there is a green herbaceous note that comes up in the opening and makes the perfume really interesting and beautiful. And that is something that I wanted to mention about Rare Reef. It's a really good find, 8 out of 10 for me. Really good perfume. The second perfume that I want to talk about is kind of controversial. This is 9 PM Elixir. This is a perfume. The West, like US, UK, the reviews over there are going kind of gaga over this perfume. They're saying it's a really good perfume, one of the best JPJ, Lamal, Elixir, Absolu DNA that they have got. Some are saying that this is the best fall or winter fragrance this year. I don't know about the hype, but then again, the reviews in India, I have seen a few, they are kind of 50-50, I would say. Some are saying very good, some are saying bad. Somebody is saying that this is kind of overdone, this DNA was not really needed. Some are saying that it's actually good. So in that controversy, I tested it out from a friend and I loved it so much that I ordered it. And this was something that I used during this Durga Puja most of the time during the evening as a standalone as well as a layering perfume. However, I don't feel this is just JPJ, Lamal, Elixir, Absolu. I feel that this is Lamal, Elixir, Absolu with some hints or nuances of Hugo Boss bottled Elixir. I actually own a perfume called Solar Eye from Sniff and Smell, and that is said to be a very good clone of Boss bottled Elixir from Hugo. The dry down is something that I get over here. I don't own a bottle of Boss bottle Elixir. It's again expensive, but I didn't buy the perfume because I already had the Sniff and Smell version, which people tout as one of the closest. I'll have to still check when I get the OG at some point in time, but as a perfume, that is really good. The name of the perfume is Solar Eye, I believe. So over here in the dry down, I get that hint of Boss bottled Elixir due to the note of labdanum and cedarwood at the base, which Boss bottled Elixir has. Now, if you are into fresh perfumes, you can skip this. But if you are into dark, resinous, thick, a bit sweet, spicy, warm perfume, this is it. This has got a little hint of mintiness along with spices, warm spices. I mean, it has got the sweetness of tonka, vanilla, and then it's kind of very gourmandish as well, but it has got added touch of leather. It has got LME resin, which makes it a bit more thick, resinous, and the overall feeling is just, I mean, in a few words, if I have to sum up the perfume, it's warm, it's sweet, it's spicy, it's leathery, and it's a tad bit minty. Those are the characteristics of this particular perfume, and I feel that this is something that is truly wonderful if you love thick scents with a hint of leather along with sweetness and spices, and perfectly fine for the winters. However, this is a polarizing perfume, so if you're a beginner, I would suggest you can just skip this one. Stick to simple DNAs. These will either make you love it or completely hate it, and at a price tag of around 2600 to 2800, I feel that this perfume, if you buy a full bottle, can be really good or disappointing depending on who you are. So a decant, I think, would be better over here. And the perfume projects and lasts really long, around 1 to 1.5 hour of projection over here again, and around 7 to 8 hours of longevity when applied on the clothes. My God, I feel that 9 PM Elixir is one of the best offering from the 9 PM DNA. I have got the 9 PM. I don't like that perfume. It kind of gets me some headache. There is 9 PM Dive, and then there is a few more, but I feel that 9 PM Elixir in the 9 PM DNA is the one that I will always give a better rating than the others, and this, according to me, is a 7.5 out of 10 because versatility factor over here is a bit missing. Some people might love it, some people might hate it. I am one of those persons who actually love the DNA, so this is really good for me. Now, let me talk about a perfume which has been bashed quite a lot. Internet kind of said, don't waste money on this. However, again, over here is also kind of a bias. The West are saying this is the best Khamrah to get if you are not getting Khamrah Kawa. This is Dukhan, Lattafa Khamrah Dukhan. And oh, by the way, some people say that you are testing all the perfume in the same space. How do you do it? I mean, this is just for demo purpose. I'm already wearing this perfume for a long duration of time. So whatever I do over here is not going to change what I have to say about the perfume. Okay, just a quick disclaimer because somebody pointed it out. So Khamrah Dukhan is, according to me, how a flanker should be done. And I think that internet kind of went hypocritical over here. That's a very hard word to say or a very heavy word to say, but hear me out why I'm saying this. Havas Ice was released after Havas. That was a flanker which had a bit of minty undertone to it in the opening. It was a bit more fruitier and the dry down was very identical to the Havas. But internet made it their, favorite. They're like, get this is more fresher, this is blah blah blah. I know Havas Ice, I would still lean more towards Havas Ice because I feel that it has got some bit more depth and character. I feel that Dukhan is kind of in the same realm. It's basically OG Khamrah, but with added smokiness, a bit of tobacco, a bit of spiciness, and the sweetness over here feels a bit more airy rather than feeling dense and thick. And that is what you exactly get with this one. And this has got some incensey feeling as well. Dukhan basically means smoke, and Lattafa Khamrah Dukhan is basically a smoked Khamrah. So basically they did a very good job making a flanker of a perfume, and this is how I think a flanker should be done. And if I were to choose a Khamrah, if I'm not getting Kawa, I would have chosen Dukhan over the OG Lattafa Khamrah for sure. This adds a bit more depth into the character. I actually don't like very thick, sweet, resinous perfumes if they don't have some sort of character in it and where the sweetness is not balanced. As in case of 9 PM Elixir, the leather, the spices, the lavender kind of mixes well with the sweetness, and that makes it very tolerable for me. But OG Khamrah had that very dense gourmandish praline and dates note, which I absolutely kind of, it was off-putting for me. But this one, Dukhan, has a note of pimento, which adds a bit of spiciness into the mix. It has got incense and then it has got a bit of tobacco. Those things makes the entire perfume change to some extent where the sweetness kind of now feels bearable to me. And I would say if I were to buy a Khamrah DNA other than Kawa, Dukhan is the one that I will go for. The performance on this one is really good. Although it's a little less dense, a bit more airy when it comes to the sweetness, still the performance and projection is intact. Around 1 to 1.5 hours of projection, around 7 to 8 hours of longevity when applied on the clothes. And this is, I think, selling at 25-2600 for 100 ml. And disclaimer, if you don't own OG Khamrah, get Dukhan and I think you will love it. In case you own a Khamrah, you don't need this. However, there are tons and tons of clones of Khamrah already out there, so I don't really think you need the Khamrah, like the OG Khamrah anymore. But this is not exactly like Khamrah. So in case you are kind of bored, like already the clones kind of exist and I want some depth into it, Dukhan is a better option in my opinion. Now, the fourth perfume that I want to talk about is this one, Rich Santal by Emir. This is kind of a clone of Labo Santal 33. And the moment I saw this perfume, I have an affinity towards sandalwood based perfumes, and a lot has to do with, I would say, Shah Rukh Khan, when he kind of started this, trend where he said that he mixes Tam Dao with Dunhill Icon. So my theory was, if Tam Dao can work, being a sandalwood based perfume, along with some other perfumes to layer with, I can do the same with this one. Because I felt that I already love sandalwood, and why not get this perfume? I kind of searched a lot before buying this perfume out. Very few reviews are there from Indian reviewers, and the perfume reviewers from the West kind of speak very highly about this perfume. Like, this is really good, very close to Santal 33 by Labo, and you should just get this perfume. This comes at the fraction of the cost, is around 90% close, and all those stuff made me very intrigued. So much so that I ordered this perfume because 1800 for 100 ml seemed like a cheaper option to me. So like, yeah, we can go ahead and buy this perfume. There is no problem. And the moment I received the perfume, initially the perfume was kind of underwhelming for me. This is supposed to have sandalwood, or the name has got Rich Santal, but it's mostly woody. The perfume initially when it opens up feels like a wooden cabinet, like aged wooden cabinet. If you open a wooden cabinet, the kind of feeling that you get, this kind of gives you that same kind of feeling. At around 1 to 1.5 hour mark in the dry down, the sandalwood then comes into play, and that is when the perfume gets really interesting for me. Then I start loving the perfume. The dry down is the part where I love the perfume. But this perfume has a really good character, I would say, that this goes really well as a supporting actor, as a layering perfume. And I was completely right on this particular part, and that is the reason now this perfume is my secret weapon to make any perfume feel interesting, because of the notes that it has into it. It has got some cedarwood, it has got some iris, it has got some sandalwood, it has got some violet leaves, and these kind of adds a bit of depth and character to any perfume that I layer it with. Be it a DNA of Creed Aventus, be it DNA of Bvlgari Tygar, no matter which DNA I use it with, this kind of makes the DNA interesting. So according to me, this is a really good supporting actor for the perfumes, and if you're looking for something to layer with, Rich Santal is the way to go, man. This is really good when it comes to being a layering perfume. As a standalone, you can either skip it and you won't be kind of disappointed. Now, the last perfume is the one that I got very disappointed with, because when it was launched, it was touted as one of the best and the closest to the Bvlgari Tygar DNA. Now, I love the DNA of Bvlgari Tygar. I own a theorem. I love theorem. I have a decant of Turati Blue. I have tried like Warm Silver, and the list goes on and on. I also have a sniff and smell Thros, which is kind of expensive, but I still wanted to try that out, and I still wanted to check the DNA. That is how much I love the DNA of Bvlgari Tygar. So when this came out, or this came into my notice, I was like, I need to get a Sceptre Bronzite. This is Maison Alhambra Sceptre Bronzite, a perfume that looks very identical to the bottle of Bvlgari Tygar as well. Because Bvlgari Tygar is from a La Gem lineup. They have got a gem over here in the lineup as well. Okay, so this is how Sceptre Bronzite is. They have also, I think, a Sceptre Malachite, which is supposed to be a god of fire like DNA. This is Bvlgari Tygar at its best when it comes to the blend quality. This is highly refined blend with a very minimal alcoholic blast, and the perfume feels very smooth. That's it. That's the best part. The bad part, this perfume does not last as long as I was expecting it to last. This will project for around an hour, and the overall longevity is around 5 to 6 hours. Very close or similar to Theorem. Turati Blue is there, but I feel that Ro Broca Theorem is my go-to perfume when it comes to the DNA of Bvlgari Tygar. This kind of falls short in the price to performance ratio in my opinion, because the Theorem is kind of selling at 1650, 1700 for a 90 ml. So the effective price per 100 ml is basically around 1800 rupees. However, this one, Sceptre Bronzite, sells for around 2000 rupees for 100 ml. So you're kind of paying 200 rupees more per 100 ml basis. Although this perfume blend is exquisite, way better than Ro Broca Theorem, and this feels more closer to the DNA of Bvlgari Tygar as well, but by a few percentage, say 5-6% or say 10%, that's it. But the perfume is very well blended, and a perfume that I absolutely loved, but I would not recommend because I already have Theorem. If you have a Theorem in your collection, this is redundant, and if in case you want to buy the cheapest clone of Bvlgari Tygar out there as of now, I still feel Theorem is the better value for money option than Sceptre Bronzite. Although as a perfume it's not bad, but then I get why there has been less hype about this particular perfume, because Theorem kind of took all the hype away from this. So these were the perfumes that I bought from Elixbloom, which I reviewed, rated, helped you out to make a better decision. And in case you forgot, 10% coupon Send Saga 10 is still running on Elixbloom till 19th of October 2025 as a part of Diwali sale. In case you're wondering, you can grab that perfume. In case you're wondering, you can check that website out and see if you can find something that caters to your needs at a better price than anywhere else. Regarding the genuinity, there is no issue, and that's pretty much it. I kind of covered everything that I wanted to do in this particular video, and in case you have any queries or concerns about the perfumes that I discussed today, or any other perfume for that matter, you have the comment section, or connect with me via Instagram, which is Send Saga Online. So with that, this is Deep signing off. I'll see you on the next one very soon. Bye-bye.